G'day, Luke.
How are you, mate?
Yemini from Rebel News. How you going?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. So Manny's uh, given us an update. How you feeling about it all?
No, it's pretty sensational to get it behind me, mate. It was a long, drawn-out process, but the right thing happened out of it, mate.
Oh, well, of course. That was $10,000 over your head for
Yeah.
something you couldn't really control.
No.
What would you like to say to the people that supported you in this fight and backed and, I guess, paid Manny's bills?
Mate, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for jumping on my cause and for everyone that donated money. It's much appreciated. And mate, I can't thank Manny enough either. He did a fantastic job.
He's been a legend, and your case was a little bit different than some of the other ones, but we're just so happy to hear that you're happy and that it's behind you and that you didn't need to pay a dollar.
No.
Good on you, mate.
Good, mate.
Thank you so much for letting us also share your story, and hopefully we only keep in touch about times where I can come down to have a beer.
No worries. Much appreciated. Thanks for getting it out there, Avi. I really appreciate it.
No, not a problem, mate. Thank you so much, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Bye. Thank you, Manny, for taking the time to update us on what happened with Luke in the Port of Bourke. What happened?
Yes, thank you, Avi. As you know, the situation with Port of Bourke was quite unique in that we had a couple of very senior officers from Dubbo attend Bourke and conduct a 2-day sting operation at his pub, the result of which was 2 very significant fines for breach of various COVID directions at the time. Amongst those directions was a set of directions which prevented people from walking around the pub with alcoholic beverages in their hands or congregating in large groups in tables, etc. Now, our client and his staff did everything they could on these 2 evenings to try and mitigate against those breaches. But unfortunately, as you can imagine, they really couldn't stop everyone from breaching these orders. About a month prior to that, our client had suffered very serious injuries to his head when he tried to intervene on another patron and tried to enforce these COVID orders. Now, on the facts, we advised Mr. Moon that it probably would not be prudent for him to defend the matter. We knew that if we were to defend this on the facts, we would probably lose the case. So as a strategic decision, we decided to enter a plea of guilty to the 2 charges and proceed to sentence in the hope that we could mitigate the effects of those fines at sentence. Now, we prepared a very lengthy set of submissions to the local court there in Bourke. Very significantly, and something that your listeners might find interesting, is that Her Honour agreed that Mr. Moon, as a publican, is not an authorised officer under the Public Health Act in New South Wales, and as such, it does not have the power or authority to enforce these COVID directions. You know, something like that puts a great predicament for business owners, because on the one hand, they could face very significant fines and penalties if they breach the directives. But on the other hand, they do not have the legal force or authority to enforce the directives. So it leaves the owners in a bit of a predicament as to what they can and cannot do. Ultimately, the magistrate agreed with our submissions and did not record a conviction in this case, which automatically means that the 2 fines were dismissed. Ultimately, not having such significant fines or having the significant fines withdrawn or dismissed, I think was an excellent outcome.
I think we can all agree that it's absolutely an excellent outcome. Luke's $10,000 in fines dismissed, and that stress lifted from his shoulders. Of course, it cost us nearly as much to fight Luke's tickets as it would have cost us just to pay the fines, but that's not the point. Earning a legal victory against these authoritarian measures is much more vital if we have any hope in pushing back against the government's weaponisation of public health measures down under. So, if you're willing and you're able to help pay for Luke's legal bill and the many other cases we currently have afoot across the country, please give what you can at fightthefines.com.au. These wins are only possible with your generosity.